Clearly, not everybody heard everything. I didn't even know anybody was listening. People showing up at the neighbor's house, hollering, so I can hear somebody's gonna blow up my house. I forget if they said what the government was gonna do. There's a reason after somebody shot a plane at my former employer, we scrapped a bunch of secret projects and switched over to national surveillance, so the new owners could watch us lose a holy war because we have a unwashed zombie asshole apocalypse following people around. And you know, like, I never even knew I had enemies. I never thought of myself as better than anybody. I can't believe how stupid, like, people who call themselves intelligence appear to be. You're working directly for people who practice slavery. You may as well, I mean, basically slaves. The bright idea was it to make us allies with Saudi Arabia in 1932. When, right, the UN was about 47. We got Saudi Arabia, World War II, the United Nations, because we're, they're stayers. They ain't going nowhere. What about you, FBI? Stayers? You're a rented mule. The FBI is a storied and, you know, it's a prestigious institution. It's a shame to see it taken over by a bunch of amateurs. So Biden hired 87,000 IRS agents. Do we have some way to make them aware they're not getting the whole message, or are they just expendable? They're just a UN population credit. They just wrote off 87,000 people. They're already dead. They just don't know yet. The fascist colonial profiteer prison industry is like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. It's the only way it works. They're illegal. It's illegal in a democracy to own your very own prison. You got to be a piece of shit to own a prison. What are you, the king of America? Hold you personally responsible for all these fucking retards. I don't give a shit about your prison. I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing that wrong. I didn't do anything wrong that wouldn't have been necessary if not for you. First, do no harm, or you better be a real god. I know there's an investigation. You gotta be the crookedest, stupidest. Sir, this looks important. What are you afraid is gonna happen? They're afraid that they're going to prison if they can't just dominate the whole narrative. If they can't control the story, once certain parties are no longer able to speak to it. This is why I advocate for special prisons for the police. Now, prison isn't a death sentence for garbage like this. Get passed around upside down till you can't tell their fart from a yawn. Let the punishment fit the crime. Now it's no longer a human rights atrocity when a cop goes to jail. It's no longer a factor. You did something rotten, but you don't deserve that. Now you did something rotten, you're gonna pay the price. But if all these for-profit prisons are illegal to begin with, justify your immunity. Where does your argument for qualified immunity come from? You're not qualified to change a tire. You're not Geneva trained. You're hardly cop trained. Send some goddamn civilian zombie to my neighbor's house talking about, they're gonna blow up my house. I am not your goddamn zombie. I am under no obligation to the limitations of what passes for intelligence these days. It's pathetic. All you gotta do is tell the United Nations that the alleged perpetrator is suspected of, you know, doing so much fucking crack that they can't form a coherent sentence, and you get the that that's who's investigating me. That's got to be it. I got to have some kind of career, hardcore, like robbing and raping and stealing, some cutthroat crackhead, some no limits, just space cadet. You got to be so high that when you're not high, your brain just don't work. And then when you are high, well, it don't matter, does it? I need an investigator who's not on parole to refer me to a grown up who's not just a lily white Muslim puritanical fascist colonialist here on behalf of the Islamic State. If that's allowed, the Watchtower reenacts crimes that you were accused of, call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know your sheriff from California. I presume he's the one from Louisiana. And if he's the guy from the video 15 years prior to 2015, and it has something to do with that and that, okay, well, then that video was from 1986, 87. I'm not trying to get out of anything. I invite you to bring charges. I demand we go on record. I dare you. Puritanical, racist, gay, atheist, sniveling coward trash.